Hello, world.
Hey, world.
So, you're listening to Brown Girl Reacts. I'm Kay.
And I'm R.
And we are two best friends that have known each other for quite some time, and we're both brown.
What are you talking about? I don't know you.
What? Now I feel hurt. Okay. That's so sad.
This chick just called me up and was like, I want to start a podcast. And I was like, I don't even know who you are, but I'm bored, so I'll do it, I guess.
Yeah, that's essentially how we met. So, basically, we thought that we should expand the diversity of current media to incorporate more brown people. So, we're just gonna do several segments on our own reactions to different topics, perspectives, some cool stories, and things like that. So yeah, this is...
Yeah, and I don't know if this is worth mentioning, but we actually 2 or 3 years ago, started a YouTube channel of the same name. And Kay reacted to a couple of movie trailers. It didn't really go anywhere because we stopped after 4 or 5. But hopefully this will go on for longer than 4 or 5 episodes.
Yep, so I think it depends on you who is listening out there. Definitely let us know if you would like to hear anything new, or, yeah, I don't know who's actually listening at the moment, but...
Yep. I don't know, I feel like there's just so much to talk about, but at the same time it's hard to decide what to talk about.
Yeah.
Because just because you can talk about something doesn't mean it's interesting enough to put it out there, you know?
But I feel like nowadays, with, like, how people just put everything out there, it doesn't really matter, so...
It doesn't, but then it's just, like, information overload, and then you have to, like, take it upon yourself to find quality content, which I guess, once you find it, you keep going back to the same place.
Yeah, but it's really up to the creators to put that content out there, so that way, like, viewers can discern whether they want to hear it or not. So I guess it's worth the try.
It is. So hopefully we'll be part of that quality content circle on your radar, listener.
Yes.
But this is our first episode, and neither of us have done anything like this before, so I apologize if this is shitty.
Yes, we will definitely try to get better, and we'll definitely have more organized, like, content to present to you. But this is, like, you know, the first try, and I guess we'll only improve from here.
Yep, it can only get better.
Yeah, so we have, like, a lot planned in advance. So we thought about, like, doing, like, a career series where we talk to people about how our personal, like, career searches have gone, and what we do now, and our experiences with that. Also, like, relationships and life in general. So lifestyle choices, I guess, could be one too. So different things in the future, and a lot of different topics that we definitely have, like, interesting perspectives on.
Well, I hope they're interesting.
I'm
Maybe
sure
they're
they
boring.
are.
What if they hear our opinion and be like, why do I care?
I don't know. I feel like people listen to all kinds of weird opinions, but, like, it doesn't really matter in the end.
I also find it interesting that, like, even though we've been friends for a really long time, we're going to be talking about things, and we're probably going to disagree on a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, but we've always disagreed on a lot of things, so...
Yeah, which is really weird. Why, like, we fundamentally disagree on so many things, it's not even funny.
But I heard that, those are the friends that you have the longest. That's like...
really surprising to me. I don't get why would that... Because you would think you would need to be very similar on some level.
No, I think, like... Because, like, me and, one of our other friends, we aren't that super similar, but apparently we're, like... I'm so into horoscopes, and we are apparently very compatible, where I'm an Aries, she's a Libra. So, our hosts, like, even though we have, like, very different, like, personality-wise, like, we have a very compatible, like, horoscopes, which I find, like, super fascinating.
That is weird. So do you feel like your personalities are aligning with what the horoscopes say about you, or?
Sometimes, but I feel like horoscopes in general tend to be vague.
They're very vague.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's really fun. Like, I don't go out of my way to adhere to whatever some horoscope thing tells me, like, oh, my week's gonna be good or bad. But, like, if I see it, I like to read it.
Yeah.
Just to see what it says, even though I don't. It can be applied to really anyone. I'm a Pisces, by the way. I don't actually know what the characteristics of a Pisces are because I've been so out of the loop with horoscope stuff. Do you know anything? Can you tell me about me according to Pisces? Do you know off the top of your head, or?
No. I just know that your sign is a fish.
Yeah, I know that too.
But let's see. I'm just gonna look it up because I know an Aries tends to be like have like a temper, and I do have a temper. That's actually very true.
Kay also is really short, so it's true that these short people are hella feisty. It's so funny. Like, why is this a thing that short people are they're like, I don't even know, the most aggressive? It's like they gotta make up for the
yeah, it's like make up for the lost
like,
height.
You're not intimidating by your height.
No, but it's true.
Make up for it.
Because like my brother is like way taller than me, but me and him have like very different personalities. Or like
the big gentle giant.
Yeah, but it's weird because he's also an Aries too. So like I don't understand that aspect of it.
Are we compatible by, like, signs, Aries and Pisces?
I think we have, like, I don't know if we have, like, a significant, compatibility, but, I just know that, like, me and Libras, or, like, Aries and Libras tend to have, like, the best. So, and Aries is compatible with Gemini, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aquarius.
Yeah.
The least compatible signs are generally considered to be Cancer and Capricorn.
Oh, so I'm neither really compatible nor not compatible. So that tells us nothing.
Well, okay, so there's like a love chart. And apparently, so like me and a Libra is different agendas but could be interesting. So it's like 3 hearts, meaning it's compelling. But with a Pisces, we're 1 heart, and because we have separate goals and drives, and it needs work. That's like so sad. But your top choice is a Cancer or a Scorpio. Because it's like you have a special rapport with a Cancer or a Scorpio.
Wait, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure there's also an Indian horoscope type thing. Because
how does that work? Like, how do Indian swamis figure out people's like marriage?
Exactly.
things?
So I want to talk about this because one of my coworkers, she was pregnant, and I think she's Gujarati or something. I don't remember. I was asking her what she was going to name the baby, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know yet. We're going to find out based on I don't know what she said it was, but." In the end, it was basically like a swami was doing some horoscope type thing. I'm so bad with the description for this. But I don't remember what the name is, but yeah, it was basically consulting some type of...
Well, I think they consult like definitely sun charts and signs and like where the stars were aligned at the time of your birth. But it's some sort of weird thing like where they take the time of your birth and the date and, like, also, like, the season or something.
Well, the baby's not born yet, though. They're doing this before the baby's born. So I think he was consulting something else.
He's probably consulting the parents' signs or something.
Yeah, he was consulting something. I don't know what it was, but we should do an episode on that, like Indian astrology or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's so interesting, even though I don't necessarily adhere to it. But
no, it's
I
really
also have a story behind that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really important one. It's like it didn't change my life, but that'd be an exaggeration, but it did affect me for some time.
So, you asked about Capricorn? Is that what you asked before?
I honestly don't remember.
Oh, so your compatibility is high with Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, and Capricorn. That's like your top four. And with the Capricorn, you're fantastically supportive.
So you're not on there, Aries?
I'm like almost at the bottom. It's called rough with the smooth.
So that's weird, because I'm not even on your list. I'm not on your good or bad list, but you're on my bad list.
No, you're on like the bottom. It's just like the love chart. Apparently, I'm a best match with my fellow Aries. So.
Anyways, enough of that.
We can delve deeper into a later episode.
Yeah, let's do more. We don't want to have the whole episode be this, although I would like a whole episode to be this, just not this one.
So yeah, I guess the actual segment that we wanted to talk about was about like Brown Girl Meets World, and so this is a part of the, I guess, show where we're going to talk about current events and like our reactions to it.
Yeah, whatever suits our fancies. Sometimes I'll be into some Hollywood type thing, and then sometimes I'll be into some Bollywood news. But we'd want to just whatever. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. So today I found out that Channing Tatum and his wife split after like 9 years of marriage. And this is like the 5th or 6th celebrity couple that's recently like split after so many years together.
To put this in context, if we listen to this years from now, today's date is April 3rd, 2018.
Yes. We should have mentioned that in the beginning. Yeah.
But now you know.
Yeah. So, so fun fact for today.
That's not a fun fact.
It's a really sad fact. But, what are you...
Channing Tatum, the one that was, like, in Magic Mike?
Yeah.
And said, I'm all for the equal objectification of all people.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, like, they were a staple celebrity couple for a while, and, like, it's just surprising that, they just announced their split. So it's like...
Who was he married to?
He was married to, his co-star from Step Up. Like, her name is, like, Lena... Is it Lena?
I guess I know who she is, but not her name. I don't know.
I just don't want to butcher her name, because, like, I know who she is, it's just that...
It's okay, butcher her name.
I think it's, like, Lena Dewan or something. I don't know, but it was on, Twitter, but, I don't think it's there anymore, because, like, so much other stuff has happened in the world.
Yeah, we would hope that that's not the headline of the day.
Yeah.
If there's other good news. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so my thing is I saw some YouTube videos about Cardi B being in the Illuminati possibly because of her Grammys interview where she spaced out for like and looked like she was being mind controlled. Apparently, people were saying her sisters are a handler and she got turned on and then off mid-interview. And I saw the video and it was, I don't know.
Wait, which interview was this?
Some Grammys interview, I think from last year. I'll send you the link.
Wait, her mic got turned off and on?
No, her face, like, it just changed and then went back to normal, and people were saying it looked like she was getting mind controlled.
Are you sure the video's not, like, edited?
No, it's not edited. You can tell. It's a real video. It's just, if you interpret it as just being, she spaced out for a second, versus, this happened to her, and she's mind controlled.
Oh, Channing Tatum's wife, or ex-wife now, is Jenna Dewan Tatum. Dewan? Yeah.
Dewan sounds like a very Indian name.
Yeah, but they were, in Step Up together, and she wasn't in that much, like, TV after that, like, after they were, like, married and stuff like that. But, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I still don't understand, like,
you never really know what goes behind the scenes in a marriage. It's pretty easy for a marriage to break apart than it is to last really long. But how long? You said 10 years? That's a pretty...
9 years together, and they have,
it's not bad
2 kids.
For a celebrity couple. Like,
but I mean...
celebrity couples are known to be much shorter than that, so...
That's true, but, like, it's just one of those things where if you're publicly, like, been together for a long time, then it's, like, kind of sad, because you kind of, you know, grew up with this couple, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, there are celebrity couples that are still together, and people have faith in them. Like, John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, like, they're a power duo.
They're solid.
Yeah, but I think, I don't know, because it could be, like, maybe it has to do with them both being actors, but she's not really an actor anymore, so there could be issues with that.
What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say anymore. Continue. I sent you the link, by the way, of the Cardi B video. The name is, for viewers out there, if the video is even still up when you listen, it's called Cardi B, Illuminati Mind Control, 3 question marks. The Grammys Interview, Project MK Ultra. It right now has 500,000 views. Over 500,000.
Is this like a live Grammy interview?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was also going to say, I watched Judwa 2 last Friday with my mom.
Uh-huh.
It was just... I'm just so... The songs were good, but she genuinely thought it was funny, and she enjoyed the entire movie, and was laughing a lot the entire time. But for me, I felt like I was losing brain cells. You know, when you watch something, and you just want it to stop.
Oh, yeah. I've just, like, all those, like, newer Hindi movies, or, like, Bollywood movies, like, they're not that great. Like, I don't see, like, a good plotline or anything.
No, even script, just in general, the scripts aren't compelling. Like,
No.
I feel like I'm not being taken seriously as a viewer, which sounds dumb.
No, but, like, even when I watch, like, old movies that I've never seen before, like, I kind of realized, like, back then, the plots used to be, like, crazy. Like, they used to put so much stuff in them, and then now it's more of, like, let's just put anything and everything that can gather your attention, and it doesn't really, like, have, like, any kind of plot development, and most of the dialogue is so dumb. Because I saw Shandar recently, and that's with, like, Shahid Kapoor and Alia Bhatt, and I totally did not understand the point of that movie.
That's unfortunate because, and the thing is, a lot of these Bollywood movies are really long. Like, when I was watching Judwa 2, it's about 2.5 hours.
Uh-huh.
You can have a really well-developed story with a nice plot and go into detail on so many different parts if you have 2.5 hours. But to have that much time and have a wandering plot, like, it's such a waste.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think it's just a way for them to make movies off of, like, just celebrity basis than it is, like, actual, like, plot development. So...
Yeah. There's definitely a split in Bollywood between the movies that are trying to portray some sort of message versus the movies that are just for fun, which is fine to have those movies that are just for mindless entertainment, because I spend a lot of my time doing mindless entertainment.
Yeah,
but I don't know, for my movies, I want my movies to have more of a impact on me versus I go on YouTube for my mindless entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
For my movies, I expect a little bit more. But, I mean, I get why you would want to have a segment of movies that is just for mindless fun.
But you're paying, like, so much money to go see it in a theater, right?
Exactly.
Like, then there's no point. Like, why would I waste that much money to see, like, a crappy film when I could just wait till it comes, like, online or on Netflix or something?
Exactly, versus on YouTube, which is, I'm not paying for it. The ads are, and I can easily click away. It doesn't feel like as much of an investment versus spending 2.5 hours watching a movie, whereas most YouTube videos, or a lot of them, are way shorter than that. So if it's a shitty YouTube video, I can just watch the next one. Versus a movie, at least I feel like I need to finish it through.
But it's, like, not even, so they always say that, like, Hollywood movies are, like, better in some sense, but actually some, like, Hollywood movies are actually not that great in terms of plot development or
exactly.
anything at all.
I just don't like it. I don't like blanket statements when people say, "Oh, Hollywood is way better than Bollywood," or vice versa.
That's so not
people
true.
in India saying, "Oh, Bollywood is so much better than Hollywood." Like, those statements are bad. Like, you got to take a movie on. Like, you can't compare the entire industry because there's just so many good movies in each industry and also so many bad movies in each industry.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare, like, a great Indian film to a terrible American film.
Yeah.
You can really, it's hard to compare the entire industry. They're just so different from each other. There's too many good films and bad films, respectively, from each industry. Like, I mean, you could probably compare an Indian sports biopic film to an American one and say which film is better, but I wouldn't want to say that, oh, Hollywood is just better than Bollywood in general.
But that's the thing,
not.
like...
And neither is Bollywood better than Hollywood in general, because it's not.
Yeah, but there's also, like, a thing where in Hollywood, they don't tend to make movies on people that are alive. So, like... That's what I've seen is that in Bollywood, they're so, like, wanting stories that they're doing biopics on people that are still alive.
I mean, I think that's nice because isn't it a little bit sad that you can only get recognition after you're dead?
It is,
as an athlete or artist or something.
But, like, at that point, you know, why don't you just make a documentary with those people and, like, you know...
Oh, you're saying instead of a biopic with the different actors.
Yeah, like, Mary Kom, I did not understand. Everyone said, like, oh, Priyanka Chopra did such a great thing in that movie. Like, I didn't understand what was such a big deal because she looked nothing like Mary Kom. They could have gotten an actress that looked more like her, or even from, like, the same, like, ethnic background as her. But no, they got, like, Priyanka Chopra. They beefed her up, and, like, made
I actually really liked the film Mary Kom.
But that's
I thought it was good, but I agree with your points about the lead actress.
Yeah.
That was a really big opportunity for them to... She's from Northeast India, right?
Yeah, and that's even more impactful,
they give more representation to some girls from that area.
Yeah.
By casting an actress from that area.
Yeah.
Instead of what the typical...
Well, I mean, I don't understand why they chose her. Like, they gave so much credit to Priyanka Chopra for portraying her. But to be honest with you, like, it was literally Mary Kom's life, you know? And so you have to give respect to the fact that she's basically just portraying a woman's life. That she, like, that's why I always say, like, documentaries are more impactful than, like, biopics. Because that's the actual person telling their story rather than a director interpreting someone's story who is still alive, you know? So it's like... I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth versus, like, a random director that decides to put, like, a bunch of random songs into the movie. Which you know for sure, she never was, like, her life was not easy. So, she was not, like, randomly breaking into song, you know, here and there.
I mean, but there's always that suspension of disbelief with all Bollywood films. We wouldn't want to, I mean,
that's
you know,
true.
That she, I don't think they're trying to convince anyone that Mary Kom's life was interspersed with song and dance.
Yeah. But did you see, like, MS Dhoni? So it's actually, like, a movie about MS Dhoni, the cricket player, and he's still alive too. And I was like, what was so fascinating about this guy's life, you know, in comparison?
They're icons, and they want to commemorate them.
Yeah, but, like, the thing is, like, okay, I understand Sachin Tendulkar, because Sachin Tendulkar is one of the most well-renowned cricket players in India, right? And I guess MS Dhoni is kind of, like, up there, but I would understand because Sachin Tendulkar is in retirement now, right? So it makes sense to do a movie about him versus a movie about a cricket player that I think is still playing. Like, I think he's still active.
I mean, the thing is, when you talk about this movie should have been made versus this movie, it's really based on, is there a director that's willing to make a movie? If there is or isn't. So, whatever movie gets made, it's because someone out there wanted to do that movie. Versus if there's not a movie made, that means either it was brought up and didn't get funded, or just not enough people were interested. Also, back to the Mary Kom point, if there was a documentary made on the actual her name was Mary Com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this sounds terrible, but would that get as many views as Priyanka Chopra's movie?
Well, I think the only reason it's because in India we tend to think like Bollywood movies are a lot better. So, and the thing is, documentaries in India don't necessarily work out. If they're catering to an Indian audience, they would rather make a Bollywood movie. Because, you know, in their mind, documentaries are kind of like sad. You know, it's going to be like poor people like crying in a corner or something, which is not true at all. But
yeah, I'm a documentary junkie.
Yeah,
every single documentary on Netflix, I've seen it.
So they're just catering to like regular people that want to go see a movie on like a Sunday with their family.
Yeah, they want to have fun.
They want to have fun.
That's much like the Indian audience in general. In India, at least. The movies are not really, you're not going for a thought-provoking experience much. You're going to take your mind off of life.
Which is interesting, because, like, you know, they now are doing, like, a lot of overseas, like, movie screenings and stuff like that. And stories that tend to have more thought-provoking, like, storylines and plot lines tend to do better overseas than domestically. But that's obviously because you have, like, people that are in, like, tech fields and stuff, or medical fields, like, that are out, like, NRIs and stuff, that are watching these movies. So,
I don't know if that's the reason they do better abroad, but it's an interesting point.
Yeah, well, I think there was, like, one movie, I'll probably have to find it, but there was one that I looked it up, and they said that this movie did way better than it did domestically. I also think, like, usually people don't want to see, I think that's the whole thing about, like, okay, I'm going to be being portrayed by, like, a Bollywood actor, and I think it's the same thing even with, like, Hollywood movies being about, like, certain people, or, like, biopics, like, they'd rather be portrayed by, like, Hollywood actors, and, like, you know, who would play you if you did a biopic, that kind of deal. So there's this kind of, like, you know, I guess glamour or prestige of having someone that's really famous portray you.
That's true. Brings more attention to her story because, at least I feel in India, a lot of sports aren't given much attention or funding. It's pretty sad. You gotta even, what was that movie? The one with Amir Khan and those three sisters?
Dangal?
Yeah, I really like that movie, but the issue is so true. This sports is not funded well enough.
No,
You've got
not.
to either fund it yourself, as in come from a rich family.
Yeah.
Or work for all the money for that sport, which will in turn take all of your energy, which does not work because you need the energy to do athletics, or just have a really supportive family that might not be rich but is willing to put everything they have into you, which it's not a good way to foster in some sort of sports.
Yeah, I think, like, it depends. Like, I just know that, like, these kinds of movies are not gonna end. They're still gonna crank out those kinds of movies with, like, you know, athletes or, I mean, more often than not, these are biopics of athletes that are coming out rather than, like, any kind of political hero or cultural hero or anything like that. They start cranking out all of these, like, you know, inspirational sports films.
They are inspirational, which it's cheesy, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, they are fun to watch.
It makes you feel good, and it's a little bit less mindless entertainment compared to
Judwa.
The mindless entertainment ones.
Like, well, the thing was, like, that's the thing, like, it's also, so there's, like, two trends that I've seen. It's, like, biopics of, like, real people, and more often than not, it's sports figures. And then also, there's a trend to do remakes or reboots of old movies. And it's either because...
Judwa 2 was a remake, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, Judwa 2 was a remake. It's not a remake, it's more of, like...
But yeah, at the end, Salman Khan came out, and I'm guessing he was the original actor.
Yeah. Like, it's just the same premise, and then they just, like, decide to make, like, a new version of it or something. But, excuse me. There was also, like, Tumbin 2, like, Tumbin, I don't know if you heard of that movie. But it used
I've
to be
heard of a song from that movie.
Yeah,
so
really
good.
It's a really popular,
with...
like, early 2000s. I don't know what year it came out, but it was, like, it's definitely an early 2000s movie. And they remade it, but the remake, like, totally did not do as well. And I think really it's because of Ashiki 2. Like, ever since Ashiki 2 came out, and, like, that movie just did so well that people are like, okay, let's just make all these new, like, sequels or reboots.
I have to watch Ashiki 2. It's been on my list.
Oh my god, you still haven't seen it?
I still haven't seen it. I've been talking, or, like, I've known I wanted to see it, but I just haven't gotten to it.
It's not, like, any kind of insane storyline. It's supposed to be, like, a very sweet, simple, like, love story. That's all it honestly is.
You should watch it together.
I loved it. Like, I love cheesy romantic movies sometimes.
Oh,
I have feels when it comes to, like, cheesy romantic movies.
Which gets me back to our main list of things we need to go through in the future. So,
yeah.
Because, yeah, we could watch that movie together, but on that note, Kay is leaving me.
We can Skype and watch it together and just record our reactions.
So, we're based in Atlanta.
Yes. Atlanta, Georgia, the United States.
Yes.
For those that don't
now,
know.
half of us will be based in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes,
the other half, Kay. I'll let you say whatever you're...
I'm moving to Arizona, which is on the other side of the country in, like, 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks now, yeah. I'm flying out near the end of April to start a new job, so that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But
do we want to say what the job is, or maybe we can keep that for a later episode? Keep people guessing.
Yeah, I'll keep it for like a later episode. I feel like
okay, we should actually see how long and have people. I want to know what people think our jobs are. What are our day jobs?
Just keep it a total mystery.
No, I don't think they can guess what college. That would be impossible.
I mean, we just said we were based in Atlanta, so there's only like so many options.
Doesn't necessarily mean we went to college here, though.
That's true. There's a lot of colleges here.
Yeah, but it also doesn't mean we went to college here. We're based here now.
But yeah, yes, but like also Arizona is like 3 hours behind. So, if you're calling me, if you call me at like 6, it's gonna be like 3 o'clock there.
But that's interesting. That'll be fine because your job ends at 2:30.
That's true. I have the morning shift, so it's
which
from
is
like...
I'm just gonna say, for your position, that's an interesting shift. That would be a normal shift for a nurse or something, which now we all know Kay is not a nurse. But
I am not a nurse, sorry guys. I know that's like a typical brown thing too, or typical South Indian brown thing, is to be a nurse. My mom said, so my parents are from Kerala, BT dubs, and my mom said that 90% of Indian nurses are Malayali, or people from Kerala.
Is there a particular reason?
Yes, so there's actually a historical reason. I feel like we should do a totally, like, different podcast on it, but
just why Malayali women are likely to...
because there's like this thing where it was like a boom of like nursing in Kerala, and the thing is like where my parents are from, it's actually the #1 literate state in the entire country of India.
Nice.
And anytime you watch like any kind of like social thing, there's always something about Kerala. If it's anything in regards to like social like well-being in India, there's something that happens in Kerala that just like changes it. Like Kerala was the first state to recognize third genders.
Whoa.
Yeah, like it's an official thing on like the census or something, or like any kind of government documentation. You can put that you're like of a third gender.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And so nurses just exploded one day overnight? Or did a lot of people get sick and there was a need for a ton of nurses?
That's not how it is. It's more about economic development and literacy. It's a lot about like there's a reason why there's a big push for a lot of women to go into nursing from Kerala. And I think a lot of it also has to do with the diaspora. So there's like a thing called Malayali diaspora. And it just basically...
Isn't it diaspora?
Yeah, I don't know. I say diaspora.
I thought it was diaspora.
Either way, it's still the same word.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong too.
But there's like a thing where there's like this huge shift of people moving outside of India, and they've moved into like the Middle East as well as to America as well as to like several like European countries. And the very first people to leave were actually Indian nurses. Or like Malayali nurses.
I don't get, because don't you have certain certifications qualifications that apply regionally? Like, you're only qualified to be a nurse in this area because you went to school here and worked here, versus in America you need to have the certain qualifications to be a nurse. And state, I know even state by state in America you probably have a little bit different qualifications. Yeah, but so how does that export out?
Yeah, so like I can just tell you from like my mom and like how she went through it, especially like moving to the United States, is okay, so she got her BS in nursing degree, and then once she did that, she actually had to write like the state board exams for New York, because she was actually shifting to New York, or she was immigrating to New York, so she had to pass their nursing board certification in order to practice in the state of New York. And then when she moved down to Georgia, she had to pass and get the Georgia license to practice here. So it's similar to like becoming a doctor. You have to pass like certain exams. And the thing is that even if you are from a different country, you just have to have a degree in nursing and then pass a bunch of board exams.
Study again and pass some tests.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty, my mom said it was like pretty basic stuff. Like, it was stuff that she already knew beforehand. It was just certain policies and things that are different based on the country of residence.
One test is not an entire re-education, 4 years.
Oh, no. I mean, I think it's different in terms of if you're going to become a doctor practicing in the United States, you actually have to pass, like, certain exams. But for nursing, I think it's like 2 exams. One to practice, like, if you're not studied in the U.S., you have to pass, like, or even if you study in the U.S., you still have to pass, like, certain nursing exams, and then you also have to get, like, your certification to practice within the state.
Yeah, I didn't know that nursing was such a popular profession for brown girls.
It's
I was completely unaware until from high school and going to college, then finding out that a couple, but then from them I saw other brown girls that were also doing nursing. I was just completely unaware. For me, I was like, oh, brown people are going to become engineers, doctors, and lawyers. I just never knew that there were so many that wanted to be nurses.
Yeah, so we could just, like, talk more about that in detail in a different podcast, because it's just a whole nother topic and a whole nother, like, just, it's so interesting to read about it. It's also to, like, hear about people's stories and experiences. So
you should definitely research on the history behind that as well.
Yeah, well, I know, like, a good amount just because, like, I know from, like, my
personal
mom's experience. Yeah, and stuff. So, but,
I know. Do I have anything to contribute to that conversation?
Oh, not definitely. You should talk about, like, the IT industry and, like, the expansion of, like, you know.
Girl, you just gave away what our career... We're gonna keep them guessing.
No, you can talk about... I'll talk about the IT industry. But yeah, so those are things that we can definitely talk about in future podcasts.
Are you making them notes?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Kay over here, she's a leader, a real leader and note taker.
I just write everything down. Because if you don't write things down, you're gonna forget it.
Which is the worst, because you have good ideas, and then they can't materialize because you just forgot to write it down.
Yep, that's for sure.
You might as well have not had a genius idea if you don't write it down.
Yep. Okay, so
Are you done with your pizza?
Yes, it was a great pizza. I got pizza, by the way, guys. It was beautiful.
What kind of pizza?
It was cheese, and then my brother got, like, this weird double-layered pepperoni pizza that
Is that weird? Sounds like a pretty typical pizza.
Well, it's, like, pepperoni with, like, Italian herbs and stuff, so.
I'm a vegetarian over here, so no pepperoni for me.
Which is interesting, because, like, most people think, like, Indian people tend to be vegetarian. But that is not true.
It's very not true. I have so much difficulty finding other Indian vegetarians in my life.
It's so sad.
Other than when I used to go to temple, I mean, yeah, a lot of them were there, but only the ones there. As soon as I go out into the real world, it was much more difficult.
Definitely.
Okay, so
that concludes.
We talked about who we are, why we're doing this, what we plan to podcast about, some of those segments we plan to do in each episode.
Definitely, like, rambled on about certain things.
Yeah, but I think that's a little bit of the fun of a podcast.
You can definitely ramble on about different topics and just go from one topic to another, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
But,
hopefully it was enjoyable for the listener. We were thinking we were going to call our listeners samosas.
But you guys can comment and see if you really enjoy that name.
And the reason we would call you samosas is because of that YouTube channel that we started in 2015, 2 or 3 years ago. And I decided to put the profile picture as a samosa for no particular reason, or maybe I had a reason at the time and I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, I don't even remember either. But anywho, we are Brown Girl Reacts, and I am Kay.
R.
But, yeah, so we'll see you another time.
In the next episode.
In the next episode.